Before we really start this, I just want to quickly talk about diameter and radius, just remembering what they are from year 7. Diameter is all the way across and radius is here. Then circumference is the length all the way around. Okay? And then they give you a little formula here, but I want to talk about that for a minute. Okay? And so I'm going to use this space over here, and I'm going to get a circle here. It's the lid to something that I have. And I'm going to use a tape measure to measure all the way around the outside, and I'm going to do it really, really tightly. And so think right now as I'm doing this, what's the name of what I'm finding when I go all the way around the outside? And I'm going to do it as tight as I can. And so when I go around the outside, I can see I'm right here. I'm measuring it with a tape measure. I'm right here. And it looks like I got about 32.5 centimeters. It's really long, isn't it? That circumference. So I think I got for the circumference 32.5 millimeters, sorry. And then I'm going to do, I hope, the diameter. I can't really see the center of this, so I'm going to get as close as I can to the biggest there. And I think it looks like it's about 10.2 or 10.3. So the diameter, I'm going to put 10.3 just because that outside comes out a little bit, 0.3. And my claim is this. If I take the circumference and I divide it by the diameter, let's see what I get. I haven't done this before I did the video, so I hope I'm right. I get 3.15. Okay, so that's the ratio of the circumference to the diameter. Now I'm going to take another circle. I've got this coffee cup. I'll put this up like this. It's a bit slanty, but you can see. And I'm going to measure around this coffee cup. I got to be careful because this really has kind of an edge on it. And I'm going to go around. It's a funky coffee cup. And when I do it, I get, it looks like about 23.4 or 23.3. So I'm going to go circumference, 23.3 millimeters. Yeah, do you agree with me? 23.3, maybe? Okay. And then I'm going to try to get across the top, the diameter, and I'm going to use these little dots, but I got to go out a little bit because this cup sticks out a bit. So I think it's about 7.4 maybe? 7.4, let's do it. I didn't do this beforehand, so I hope it turns out right. Let's go back down to normal vision here. Sorry about that glare. And I'm going to do C divided by D, and when I do that, I get 23.3 divided by, did I say 4? I don't think I said 4. Let me go back. I've written something down wrong. That doesn't make any sense. 4 millimeters. 7.4. Okay, divided by 7.4. And I got 3.1486. Or, right? Okay. I got really similar numbers with totally different sized circles. You know, they're not even close to the same. Let me get you over here. One's really a lot bigger than the other one. And it is true that any circle that I find the circumference and diameter, I keep getting this number. And that number is pi. Okay? Pi. It's just a regular old number. Pi. It goes on and on and on and on forever, but here it is correct to 5 decimal places. Usually we use this, and sometimes we use this fraction. Let's just click that in, 22 divided by 7. And we use it as an approximation of pi. Okay, so the more precise you get, the better. I wasn't very precise. I had a crummy tape measure, and I didn't measure very well, and I did it really fast. Okay, so let's see what this says. It says, find the circumference of these circles, correct to 2 decimal places, and use a calculator for the value of pi. So the formula up there says circumference equals pi, which we know what that is, times diameter. But that's the radius. So the first step I have to do is figure out what the diameter is, and the diameter is double the radius. So the diameter is 7 meters in this one. So circumference equals pi times 7. It says use your calculator. The pi on your calculator is, probably should have thought of that earlier. It's there. Oops, it's so shady in here. It's right there. Okay, so I'm going to do 7 times pi. 7 times pi. And I get that, and it said 2.1991, blah, 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 and it says 2 decimal places. So I'm going to put 2.1991 21.99. This already has the diameter, so it's a real easy one, pi times 4. So I'm going to type it in, pi times 4, and I get 12 point, now this says 5663, blah, blah, and I want 2 decimal places, so I have to round here, so it's going to be 57. Make sure you remember how to do your rounding. All right, then it says calculate the circumference of these circles using a different approximation for pi. Well, this one's still 3.14, so I'm not going to use my calculator one, because my calculator one is that huge number. But they want me to use, they want me to use just that. So I'm going to do actually 10 times circumference equal 3.14. I'm not going to use my calculator button. 10 times 3.14. So it's not as accurate. It's 31.4. I guess I knew that. Meters. And I should have had my meters up here and my centimeters. And this one I'm going to use 22/7. Now I don't have the diameter here. That's kind of tricky. I've got to get the diameter. So that's 14 times 2, so that's 28. So the circumference is the diameter times this approximation of pi. I could actually do that by hand, I reckon, without a calculator, but we'll cheat and use the calculator. 28 times 22 ABC 7, 88 centimeters. Okay, there's your work, girls. Should be easy.